All right, so for problem 1A, since we're subtracting a negative, like you can see a negative 3.52, subtract 5.203, those are the same sign, so we're going to add them together and then keep our answer negative. Okay, 5.203, and we're going to need to line up the decimal with 3.52, and since there's nothing behind it, we're going to put a 0 as a placeholder. Okay, now going to add them together, but we know our final answer is going to be negative. Okay, now 3 plus 0 is 3, 2 plus 0 is 2, 2 plus 5 is 7, but our decimal, 5 plus 3 is 8, so we have negative 8.723. It's going to be the same process for 1B. Since you have a negative 4.203 and we're going to subtract 2.013, it's the same sign, so we're going to add them up and then keep the sign negative for our final answer. All right, notice I stacked it up. I lined up my decimals. Those should be lined up. And 3 plus 3 is 6. 0 plus 1 is 1. 2 plus 0 is 2. Put your decimal there. 4 plus 2 is 6. And we have 6.216 for our final answer. If you don't show the work, it doesn't count. So you got to be attempting it on your own first. Let's check out 2A and 2B. There's a few different ways to multiply numbers with decimals. Some people line up the decimal, some don't. I'm going to show you this method. And if you have another method that works that you did on your own right now and you still get the same answer, then just keep on using that. But if you don't have a method, check this out. We're going to go 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 2 again is 6. And 3 times 4 is 12. Okay? Now, we're done with that first one, so we're going to have a placeholder right there. Now we're going to move on to the next digit, which is a 1. Now, we're going to go like this. We're going to go 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2 again. 1 times 4 is 4. So we're going to go ahead and put that 4 directly beneath it. Now we're going to add it up. This x is really just a 0. It's just a placeholder for a 0. So 6 plus 0 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. And now we have to count the amount of digits after the decimal that we started with. So I got 2 digits right there, plus 1 more digit right there. That's a total of 3 digits behind the decimal. So we're going to start in the back. We're going to move it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So our answer is 5.486. But since it was a negative times a positive, this is just a regular positive 1.3, our final answer will be negative 5.486. Again, if we don't show the work, then it doesn't count, but that is our final answer. If we look at 2B, I can see that a negative 20 times a positive 0.2 is going to give me a negative answer starting straight off the top. We're talking about 2B. We're going to go ahead and work through that process again. All right, so I'm going to zoom in real quick, and let's do this. Okay, so 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 2 is 4. Now we count all the digits after the decimal. So we got 2 digits right there and 1 right there for a total of 3 digits. All right, so now I'm going to start in the back. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So 0.2 of negative 20 is just 4, right? And since it's a negative times a positive, that's going to be a negative 4 for our final answer. For question number 3, they're telling us what's the total distance, which means add. So I'm going to go, my first one, 2.45, and we're going to add that with 2 1/4. 1/4 is the same as 2.25, okay? Because you think about it as quarters. This is a fraction that is commonly known as 0.25. But if you don't know that, remember, you can convert fractions into decimals by doing some division. The numerator always goes inside the division house. The denominator goes on the outside. And I won't work all the way through it step by step, but I will show you the steps so that way you can see how we got it. So right there, by dividing 1 by 4, you get 0.25. So 2 1/4 is really 2.25. We're going to stack that up right underneath 2.25. Now 8/4 is like 8 divided by 4, which is 2. And 2 is the same as 2.00. And last but not least, 3.2 is the same as 3.20. I'm going to add all these up. 5 plus 5 is going to give me 10. 4 plus 1 gives me 5, plus 2 gives me 7, plus 2 gives me 9. And then 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6, plus 3 more is 9. So we get 9.90. Now, automatically we know 9.09 doesn't count. Okay? 9 and 10/9 does not count. That's going to give you an improper fraction with some extras. Okay? But 9.90 is the same thing as 9 and 9/10. If you're not sure why, think about it this way. Think about it this way, okay? 9 and 9/10 is, we're able to convert this, like 10 times 9 is 90, and then add the 9, you're going to get 99. Now the bottom number is still 10. We just converted it to an improper fraction. But 99 divided, this means divided, because we're splitting it, by 10. Well, 10 fits into 99 9 times, and then it's going to be 0.90 if we divide it like we did over here with 1/4. So that's why it's the same thing when you do the division that way, converting it. Now, 27/30, if you simplify that, it turns into 9/10. So that is also one of our correct answers right there. Okay? And 198 divided by 20 is actually going to simplify down to 9 and 9/10 if you do the division and then simplify that mixed number as well. So these are your 3 answers. You know what, let's show why 198 divided by 20 is the same as 9 and 9/10. Okay, so 20 doesn't exactly go into 198 evenly, but it does fit in there 9 times. And 9 times 20 is 180. So when you subtract, you're going to get a remainder of 18 out of 20. But from there, you could simplify that. 18/20 is the same as 9/10. So our answer is 9 and 9/10. And we saw earlier that 9 divided by 10, that's 9/10. That's going to be equal to 0.90. And that wasn't worked out fully, but it was just, we showed you it was going to be the same exact idea as when we took 1 and divided by 4.